Whether you're in your 20s or 30s, 60s or 70s and beyond, there are a number of things you can resolve to do, in order to slow down your biological clock, and live longer. In this video, we will take a look at 25 longevity tips which are results of studies done by major medical journals from around the globe. According to a 2012 study published, sitting for fewer than 3 hours a day could add 2 years to your life. Standing burns 0.15 calories more per minute compared to sitting. In addition, the muscle activity from standing is also associated with lower risks for strokes and heart attacks. A recent study reveals that every hour of TV you watch after age 25 cuts your lifespan by about 22 minutes. Researchers also found that people who spent an average of 6 hours a day watching TV died nearly 5 years earlier than people who didn't watch any TV at all. A 2010 study published in the European Journal calculated that, among people with a desk-bound lifestyle, simply taking the stairs was enough physical activity to burn body fat and lower blood pressure, so much to cut their risk of early death by 15%. Sleep Research Journal published in 2014 found that people who normally slept for 7 hours or less a night, and went to bed only 1 hour earlier, experienced a measurable drop in blood pressure. That lowers your risk of having a heart attack or stroke. Lack of sleep can put you at greater risk of health conditions, such as depression and heart disease, according to a raft of recent research. You've got more than cavities to worry about if you don't brush and floss. Poor oral hygiene has been associated with shortened life expectancy, according to the findings of a 2013 study. Maintaining a healthy mouth can lower your risk of heart disease, dementia, and stroke. Because a cup of coffee is high in antioxidants, it can actually lower your risk for diabetes, liver damage, several cancers, and depression, according to a 2018 study. You'll want to drink some coffee, but definitely not too much. Those who drank an average of more than 4 cups of coffee a day had a 21% higher risk of death than those who consumed less than that amount. Attention walkers. Your pace could say quite a bit about your mortality. According to a 2019 study published in a journal, participants who walked at a more brisk pace, about 3 miles an hour or 100 steps a minute, lived longer than their slower counterparts. A 2012 study found a correlation between optimism and longer lifespans. A positive outlook and attitude toward life can be the difference between checking out early and being the last one at the party. Also, being in learning touch is found to help you live longer. People who complete schooling and earned a bachelor's degree lived 9 years longer than those who did not complete high school, according to a research. It may sound strange, but standing on alternative legs in the morning forces your body to balance, strengthening your core muscles which support your spine. According to physiotherapists, this simple daily act will offer significant long-term benefits when it comes to staying active for longer, and protecting against falls and broken bones, as you get older. The link between increased sugar and diabetes risk is right up there with smoking, which is the major cause of cancer death. A 2015 research has found that added dietary fructose, such as table sugar or high fructose corn syrup, may be the top cause of diabetes. So cutting sugar alone could increase your lifespan. In a 2010 study published evaluating 1,700 married adults, researchers found that the more arguing was there in a relationship, the worse the partner's health. Scientists have found evidence to support the idea that negative emotional memories are harder to reverse after a night's sleep. So, it is suggested to first resolve the argument before going to bed. It is found in a research that world cities with the highest life expectancy had an average altitude of over 5,000 feet above sea level. That added 1.2 to 3.6 years to a man's life, lowering the risk of death from heart disease. The reason that you get excellent natural ventilation, fresh air away from the street pollution, is also accountable for the increase in lifespan. If you're nuts for nuts, you're in luck. It is found that people who eat nuts have a 39% lower risk of early death than people who don't. Walnut eaters, in particular, have a 45% lower risk of dying early. Spinach is also a rich source of plant-based omega-3 and folate, which help reduce the risk of heart disease, stroke and osteoporosis. Aim for 1 cup of fresh spinach or half cup cooked per day. Probiotic yogurt helps boost your immune system and provides protection against cancer. Not all yogurts are probiotic though, so make sure the label says, live and active cultures, and aim for 1 cup daily to live longer. A 2003 study published in the Journal About Evolution and Human Behavior found that there is an association between attractiveness and longevity. When you look good, not only will one feel good, but this translates to you being more productive. Feeling good about yourself will enable you to develop solid relationships with others. Loving self and accepting yourself will be able to relay the love and acceptance to others and help you live 7 years longer on an average than others who are not happy with their appearance. Being an expat can be both the most amazing experience in the world and adventurous. From fantastic new friends, to feeling far from home, it would be awesome to start a life abroad. It is found that expats are in general happier than people who live in the same place. It is also discovered that people who did not take any vacations from work had a 37% greater chance of early health issues than those who did. A 2010 study published in the Journal of Agricultural and Food Chemistry found that adults who indulged in antioxidant-rich blueberry for just 12 weeks scored higher on memory tests and lived longer than those who didn't. Researchers also found that drinking 2 glasses of apple juice per day is associated with the breakup of plaques in the brain that leads to dementia, and it improves your overall brain health. A regular short nap dramatically cuts the risk of dying from coronary heart disease, especially for working men. A massive 2007 study of nearly 24,000 people for over 6 years revealed that those who napped at least 3 times a week for at least 30 minutes during the day had 37% lower mortality. Studies have pinpointed 7 to 8 hours of shut-eye as optimal. But long sleepers could face a 30% higher risk of premature death, according to a 2010 study published in the journal Sleep. Scientists have discovered that waist measurement is a better predictor of heart disease than body weight or BMI. This is because measuring waist can point to the existence of visceral fat, the dangerous fat that sit around the vital organs. Your waist should measure below 94 centimeters for a man, or below 80 centimeters for a woman to have a healthy heart and live longer. A study result around Okinawans, who inhabit from remote Japanese islands and have higher life expectancy of living beyond 100, revealed that they sit for the meal only when they are hungry, and stop eating when they feel about 80% satisfied, happily leaving any excess food on their plate. As well as helping to maintain a healthier weight avoiding obesity, it's thought that eating less means the metabolism has less work to do, putting less long-term stress on the body. Another secret of the long-lived people of Okinawa, Japan, is to keep your brain actively engaged with games and intellectual stimulation. A 2008 survey found that 89% of centenarians keep their minds active. The authors of the Longevity Project emphasize that you can make positive changes, even small ones, and see a measurable effect when keeping the mind energized. According to a 2015 study, people who practiced intermittent fasting, eating for 6 days, and fasting for 1, showed an increase in a longevity-boosting gene called SIRT3 after 10 weeks. In addition to reduced body weight, this fasting can help lower cholesterol, improve glucose control, reduce liver fat and improve blood pressure. The people who follow this regularly have seen increased endurance, better motor coordination, and improved sleep. A 2013 study of more than 70,000 people reveals that vegetarians have a 12% lower risk of premature death than meat eaters. And while that correlation might be related to diet, the researchers also noted that vegetarians tend to be more highly educated, less likely to drink alcohol or smoke tobacco, and more likely to get a healthy amount of exercise than non-vegetarians. Not only is laughing fun, but it's also good for you. Result of a 2016 study reveals that people with a strong sense of humor had a 73% lower risk of death from heart disease, 81% lower risk of death from infection, and a 48% lower risk of death from all causes. Laughter boosts the immune system, slashes stress hormones, and stimulates killer T cells, which fight cancer. But as adults, we only laugh an average of 5 to 15 times a day, while children can easily clock up over 100 daily giggle bouts. Do not eat too much outside, as it could cause you to tap out. A 2012 study published in Public Health Nutrition found that people who cook at home were 47% more likely to be alive 10 years later than those who didn't. Turns out, embracing your age could help you live longer. A 2002 study published states that adults who developed positive attitudes about getting older lived more than 7 years longer than those who had negative feelings about it.